Welcome back to another episode of The Hard Truth. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. Now listen, we've been talking about the timeline over the past couple of days, and there's something that stood out to me, and I want to know what you think about it. It's concerning DM's statement and the timeline. I think I found evidence of tampering or the fact that her statement was given probably just before BK was arrested. All right, so I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Grab that coffee, grab a nice cup of tea. Happy Saturday as we begin our story. I want to talk about this timeline and something that really I thought at the beginning of the case, but I haven't really developed it. So I want to talk about DM's statement. The first reports of this crime, the police told us that the crimes likely occurred between 3 and 4 a.m. And so my problem with that is if they had DM's statement from the beginning, along with the knife sheath, her saying that she woke up at 4 o'clock, why would the police tell us that the timeline was between 3 and 5? I believe that because of this discrepancy, DM's statement didn't come into the picture until later. Now, this article was published on December 22nd, 3 days before Christmas. It says Idaho murders, Moscow police chief says quadruple murder case is not going cold. As late as December 22nd, these major news outlets were still reporting that this crime occurred between 3 and 4. The four University of Idaho students, Ethan Chapin, 20, Xana Kernodle, 20, Madison Mogan, 21, and Kaylee Gonsalves, 21, were stabbed to death, likely while sleeping, on November the 13th between 3 and 4 a.m. in a Moscow, Idaho home on King Road on the college campus, according to police. So they was as late as December 22nd. The news, as far as we knew, the crimes were between 3 and 4 a.m. Nobody was concerned with 4 to 5 a.m. And so I already know people are going to say, well, they were keeping this back from the public because they didn't want to alert the killers that they knew exactly what time the murders occurred. Well, that could be true. But I'm just saying, if you're reporting to the public that the murders occurred between 3 and 4, you're looking for a Nissan Sentra, then you're looking for a 2011 Elantra, 11 through 13, and then finally you're looking for a 2015. All these things changed in December when they were about to arrest Brian. Because in November, they told us 3 to 4. Even in December, after the press release about the car with the stock photo, they told us 3 to 4. It didn't change until we got the PCA. And so my point is, in the month of November, there was no indication that Dylan Mortensen told the police that she woke up at 4 a.m. Now listen to me carefully. Don't misquote me. If Dylan's statement in the PCA was given in late December to supplement Koberger's arrest, that means that what Dylan and Bethany told law enforcement in the days immediately following the crime on November the 13th, it indicates that they were no longer in communication with the Idaho Four, Xana, Ethan, Maddie, Kaylee. It stopped somewhere between 3:30 and 4 o'clock. If they didn't witness the crimes, and it was possible for the Idaho Four to have been murdered between 3 and 4. These girls are saying, in essence, that they lost communication with the Idaho 4 somewhere between 3 and 4. They had to, if they didn't witness the crime, and the police are reporting it happened between 3 and 4, that means that somewhere between 3 and 4, they had to lose communication with all 4 of them. Let me give you an example of what I mean. If the crimes occurred, say, at 3:20, that means that the perpetrators had to enter the house somewhere between 3:10 and 3:20. Nowhere in any of the evidence or documents that have been presented do we hear that Bethany or Dylan heard Maddie or Kaylee being assaulted. Not one time. And so we have to assume that when these crimes occurred, Dylan and Bethany were nowhere near the crime scene. Nobody called the police. So after it happened, if nobody called the police, there was nobody there to witness it to call the police. That's just my opinion now. That's my opinion. What do you think about this one? Number one, Dylan Mortensen's timeline of 4 a.m. to 4:17 a.m. According to the PCA, this only leaves the killer about 8 or 9 minutes to commit the crime. I've heard other estimations, but according to the PCA, the crime couldn't have started before 4:07 or 4:08, and it couldn't have gone past 4:17, according to Dylan's statement. Okay, and so it's going to be hard for a jury to believe that one person killed 4 people in a split level home in 8 or 9 minutes. Okay, with a knife or some type of sharp edged weapon. All right, it's gonna, unless Brian Kohlberger names the co-conspirator and places himself in that house, the jury is gonna be forced to believe that one person did this in 8 or 9 minutes. And that's a tough one, even for the most, broad thinking person.